Hello, hello! I've been waiting for you. I'm Taren S, a High Priestess and a Mama, a Southern Conjuring Witch with almost 40 years experience in the community. And also, I want to say thank you to all of my new subscribers and which have been leaning in on the channel, and to those of you who have pressed like on the video. And with that said, come on in! Let's brew some magic together. Hello, hello, hello. Guess what time it is? I'm so excited. It's time to put it on our calendar, witches. The season of the dead is upon us. Ooh, yes. And y'all know I just love dead things. It's one of my favorite things in the whole wide world. You know, but I like, you know, really dead, not freshly. You know what I'm saying. All right, so, Season of the Dead, what is this? Many witches, many of our folk traditions, many of our indigenous folk, depending on your magic, you may have a season of ancestral communication, veneration, and healing. All right, we are here for wisdom, experience, and healing. That is what we're doing. All right, this is ancestral veneration of the witch. Ooh. I don't know how to do the spooky music, so it's best I can give y'all witches. All right. Typically, the season of the dead is October 1st to November 1st. A lot of books say that. All right, reality of it is it's when you feel like a witch, okay? A season for you may last all the way until December 21st, the equinox, winter solstice, whoop, and the energies flip. And at that point, you will then start leaning towards the light half of the year. All right, it just depends on you. That's why there is no one day, we all do it the same. For the House of Witchcraft, our season this year, 2021, all right, because every season of the dead is different. It depends on how everything in the world, last year's season of the dead, oh, honey, let me tell you. And if we all didn't need a drink for that one, okay, it was, But for the House of Witchcraft, we are going to go from dark moon to dark moon this season. This was something that the witches, when we were all talking about the season of the dead, I encourage folks, you know, that moon cycle before, start leaning in. What type of season are you going to be having for, you know, for you? How long do you want it to last? Do you want to get your aesthetic all on? Or do you just want to put a simple little photograph beside your bedstand? All right? And each night during that season, say some soft words to whoever's in that picture, all right? It can be as big and grand or as small and minimal, okay? I have a dear friend of mine, shout out to Robert, my BFF. He's in South Carolina. He's working on his minimalism altar. It is currently a vase on a table. And it's fascinating listening to him talk about this, all right? So it can be whatever flavor you want it to be. I'm going to give a shout out. I have a booklet, A Witch's Guide to the Season of the Dead. Guess what? It's got all sorts of good information just talking about the season. No superfluous knowledge. You don't got to read some feel-good story. Here's exactly what you need to know how to do. All right, we've decided to go from dark moon to dark moon. So for us, our season will start on October 6th. It will end, I think we're doing November 5th. Ooh, I probably should know that. Shh, y'all witches, be quiet. I'll figure it out. But this is our season. We will be setting up our altars. For some of us, we're setting up ancestral family style altars. Others of us are setting up spirit communication altars. Some of us are setting up altars of remembrance. All right, there are so many different types of ancestral altars that it gets a little confusing because you watch this one video, they say this is how I'm supposed to do it. Then you read this article and then it says, well, no, you do it like this. And then this book back here told me that I'm supposed to do it like this. All of them are right for those people that wrote, that conveyed that knowledge. They're conveying something that worked for them. It may or may not work for you, all right? Start out simple. Don't try to get all up in it if you don't understand it, all right? Pick a nice little area, set up things in which are meaningful to you, to either connect within your own family, ancestral realms, communications, if you're looking to communicate with someone, are also for healing. Like I said, many of us ancestral healing. I am dealing with my own ancestral healing. My father died last year. We were not in a good place, nor had we been for many years. I had reached a point where I was like, just gonna wait until he dies, because that way, maybe in spiritual realm, we can have some healing occurred that could not occur with both of us in physical realm together. All right? So, yeah, you got to do for your circumstances. All right? I did a video earlier on feeding the spirits of children. All right? And how important it is to put those on our altars. Let me get my notes. Y'all know I got my notes. All right. Like I said, this is about gratitude, thank you, guidance, healing, compassion, understanding. All right, compassion and understanding is within ourselves, is where we're looking for this to happen. That allows for healing to occur. All right. And you can, like I said, for creating your first altar, you sort of need to sort of pick a little bit of a theme. Last year for me, I did what was called an anima sola, of lost souls, because of all of the COVID folk. We had so many folks that were dead and they didn't know they were dead. So I felt really compelled to set up an altar for them. And I was writing down the names of the COVID deaths that I would hear, that I came across, printing it out, putting it in a little place, and reading, scripture, reading the Catholic prayers of the departed. I also read poetry at my altars. I read whatever I'm compelled to, and I encourage folks to read with whatever ancestor you're trying to attract, to read within their genre, not yours. All right? Like you heard me saying, I have within Christianity, both Protestant and Catholic. I also have the pagan book of Hours that I really like. I also have a really beautiful book of poetry that I like, and I will sit these books on the edge of my table when I'm compelled. What feels right, and I pick that book up, I open it up, and I read from it. All right. The most important part about this season is you gotta feed it. This isn't about sitting an altar up in the corner over here, this altar, and just walking away from it and then coming back on November 1st and then taking it down. This is about daily, all right? And how do we feed it? Like I was saying, we can feed it through words, through a time. I sit and read. Feed it through music, if you know the music that they like. The music we did a Season of the Dead year before last where we were honoring our great-grandparents, and we played music from the turn of the 1900s. We all danced around and we did some 1920s flapper dancing, and it was so much fun. But this is how we honor our ancestors, all right? Of course, food and drink, cigar, loose tobacco. I did the video, candy for children, things that is associated or liked to that spirit folk, all right? That is what you're doing. And then you're going to spend time with them, okay? You have to put in the time and effort. That's it, all right? You're going to get as much out of the Season of the Dead as you put into the Season of the Dead. Like I was saying, if you just sit it up over there, Grandma ain't going to come and talk to you. You didn't even dust it. That's what I'm saying, all right? If I'm sitting up an altar, especially if I'm sitting up an altar to My paternal grandmother, if her altar is up, I actually request that people do not use profanity in that room. My paternal grandmother was a very prim and proper lady and did not use that type of a language. So when I have her altar up, out of respect to her, I ask folks, you cannot use profanity in this room when she is around, you know? And these are things, again, this is, you're developing a relationship with the spirit folk. What makes sense to you? That's what you need to be doing, all right? Magic comes from within. These spiritual connections come from within, all right? And you can make any different, like I said, theme altars, or just do a family altar. Do an altar to all the dead people you've ever liked. Whatever your connection is for that year. Each year, because remember, witchcraft's about being in the moment. All right, our calendar changes. You know, for me last year, like I said, I had a very long season of the dead. I actually started my season of the dead toward the end of September, and it ended the last part of November, because I really felt like that was needed. This year, not so much. All right, I'm feeling other things. I'm off going other places with it. And I have mementos that I do pull out. I have books of the dead from the 1920s, 1940s that I bring out as well. You know, and it's just about remembering people and saying their names out loud. All right? You know, those that are remembered live. This is about speaking their names, telling their stories. All right? And so I hope this helps. And I do want to give a shout out to one of our amazing witches, Ashiana. I know some of y'all know her, especially if you're part of the 13 Moons. Y'all know exactly who Miss Ashiana is. She has the Dark Witch collection, all that cool merchandise that we have. All right, if you are looking for some fun t-shirts and other journals, we have all sorts of home decor, just different things for getting your Dark Witch on. Please go to houseofwitchcraft.com/shop. All right, and excuse me, y'all, that one done hit hard. I just felt that one like Okay, so please go check us out at houseofwitchcraft.com. We have blogs. Of course, if you're wanting to get up into Crossroads Witchcraft, you're wanting to learn more about what I do, what the witches around me do, check out our 13 Moons community. We have a self-guided, assisted year and a day in which you get up into a community of other witches, all right? And I want y'all, I'm just going to tell y'all, they do some fun stuff, okay? They have FaceTime rituals, different things going on, you know, and of course, for some of those witches, they will be joining me next year in New Orleans. And with that said, I hope y'all have as bright of a blessed day as I'm having. And as always, amen, blessed be, ashe, and H.o.W. And don't forget, buy the book, witches. Buy the book.